Hi, I'm Kate, and I'm going to explain a little bit about zinc ignition and levels. So, this is actually what your teacher sees when they're looking at the ignition progress report. So, they'll see all of the students' names, and if they want, they can check and see how much time you've been spending on zinc, on ignition. So, not really on the placement test, but just the actual ignition activities so they can make sure that you're doing your work. But then this is how they see how you're progressing through the activities. So there's senses, key images, make it real, zinking mastery, pronouns, navigators, and tracking mastery. So if they click on a student who hasn't started yet, they can see their starting level. That's what they got on their placement test. And then they can see the required levels. Those are in light green. And the bonus levels, those are in darker green. So if you start with a level 3, that means that you're going to be required to do 4 levels for each of the skills, right? And then there are 3 bonus levels. If you score a level 6, then it's all required. If you score a level 2, then 3 of the levels are required and 4 are bonus. So it's basically whatever you scored plus 1 or 2. So as you can see, if I'm your teacher, I can see how many of these you've completed. So this student, Zach, has completed almost everything. He's still halfway through on level 7 in Make It Real and level 7 in Navigators. You'll notice that some students have little red circles around some of their levels. That's not actually a super bad thing at all. It just means that the student went into a couple extra rounds. And that's totally fine. That just means that they're getting the extra practice that they need on that skill, which is great. That's why it's there. That's the whole point of ignition, is to get the practice and the skill exposure that you need to improve in your reading skills. So, just to recap, there are required levels and bonus levels, and there are extra rounds for students who might need a little bit more practice with a particular level and a particular skill. Now I'm going to switch over to a student account. Now this student scored, let's see, a level 1 on the placement test. So that means that she has 3 required levels, just because everyone has to do a minimum of 3 levels per skill. And then the rest are bonus. It might take 1 or 2 rounds to get through each skill, but once you finish a level, that means you can go on to the next one. Because there are 3 required levels for this skill, to go on to the next skill, she only needs to finish those 3. The bonus, it is up to you or up to your teacher, depending on how you've been assigned ignition. Thanks so much. I hope this helps.